School gates are closed. Classes have moved online. Final PEP exams not happening. And come September, institutions will have to observe physical distancing guidelines. The coronavirus outbreak really has changed the way we approach education, and the prediction is that more changes are to come. Joining us via phone to help us discuss the implications and readiness of schools is President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Owen Speed. Good morning, Sir Owen. How are you doing?
Good morning, Delia, and good morning to all the viewers.
Yes.
All the teachers who might be having a little bit of a hangover from Teachers' Day yesterday. And to say hello to those in the diaspora.
Yes.
Mrs. Atkins, North Carolina, and some other teachers out there who are stranded. And I feel it for them because we'd love to have them return to Jamaica in short order.
All right. Dwayne is with me as well. So we're both going to be speaking to you this morning. Was the JTA aware of the decision to cancel the PEP exams prior to its announcement?
Well, to some extent, we have been in some amount of discussion, and to some extent we were aware. We were feeling that was where the headspace is, because as you have seen it, you know, we have quite a number of cases, new cases of the COVID-19 turning in every day. And we just couldn't see how it could be practical for us to arrange any kind of sitting anywhere before maybe September. So I think the only little bit of a surprise was that they added the grade 4 numeracy and literacy to the pool from which they will pick grades and use that as the means to place the children. But we, even though it's a little bit of a surprise, we accept that because it is much better than having nothing at all from the grade 4. So we accept that and we will move on from that.
Okay. Yeah. What kind of impact do you think it will have on the placements when they're doing it the way they're doing it? They're adding the grade 4 and grade 5. What kind of impact do you think it will have on placements at high schools?
I can't see it having any other kind of impact than what obtained over the years, because, you know, coming from common entrance into GSAT, those were just one-shot exams, and they used those as one-shot exams and used those to place the children. Now we're having 3 sets of scores, so I think it's a fair position to arrive at, and we just have to take it from here. Nothing that they do now will be perfect because it's a time of crisis, so we will support the decision to discard the PEP, cancel it for this year, and use whatever scores that they have.
I'm very heartened to hear that, Sir Speed, because if government and JTA is saying, look, this can work, then I feel like it can work. So are the teachers, well, you speak on behalf of the teachers, and what I'm hearing is that for the most part, they are okay with this placement.
Yes. I think it is fair enough, and you know, remember from where we're coming, it's fair enough. So I think we can ride on from here.
Wonderful. So what of the other announcements that have been made? I mean, the school online learning will continue until the end of the school year. So let's start with that first, and your assessment of that.
I think after 6 weeks of doing it, going 7 weeks of doing it, I think it is a good time for us to have just pause for a little with the online teaching, because it is a bit scrappy. It's not structured, it's not very organized, it's not standard. So all the different stakeholders, all the teachers who are involved, they are using different platforms, and nothing is wrong with initiative, using your own initiative and so on. But from where we sit, we believe that there should be some more structure to it, where there's an established platform that is to be used, that kind of thing. And that platform that is to be used should not be financed entirely by the teachers. We believe that it should be financed by the Ministry of Education, and that is where we need to sit around a table, flesh out what are the struggles, what are the things that are setting us back, look at those things and put infrastructure in place, put the necessary resources in place so that when we resume, because we don't know if COVID will linger even until after September. Hence, we have to make sure that we now use the time wisely to sit down and come up with a plan. It could mean that we could take 2 days per week to do the planning and then teach for 3 days if they want to just continue with it. But I believe the better option now would be to pause it for a little moment. I can't say how long, until we sit and look at what are the implications, what are the disadvantages, and see if we can widen the net so that we can incorporate more students to be a part of online learning.
Yeah, which is very important. And you mentioned September, and I want to jump to September. These high schools, and they're saying that we'll have to still observe physical distances. Are high schools prepared to handle the influx of students that will come to the new institutions come September?
If we are going to be observing physical distancing in the way that it has been for the past few weeks, then the high schools will not have that kind of space to accommodate that. Because as we know, we are short on rooms. In fact, we have overcrowded classrooms. We have classes with 40 children in there. So unless it's going to be some sort of a rotational policy, then I can't see us getting back in there and coming back to normal.
All right.
Is it a case where they'll move back to like a shift system for some schools?
I have heard that, but that is a system that the government, governments, they have always been saying that we want to get rid of the shift system, and we want the government as well to get rid of the shift system because it is detrimental to the children, many of our younger children in particular who are having to go to school in the night and then go back home in the night, some of them, the evening shift ones. But so we would love, plus when you look at the teachers at the shift schools in the staff rooms, they are really operating on top of each other. They have to be clearing out to leave the space for the next set to come in and all of that kind of thing. So it's really chaotic in the shift schools, and we'd love to have that system
regularized.
Yeah.
I have to ask before you go, President, because we've been talking about the PEP, but for the school leavers, the CSEC students, I know that they're still in discussion about the approach to the CSEC. One idea is that it will be multiple choice and online. How does the JTA feel about that?
Again, you are talking that this is all dependent on what COVID does.
Yes.
Because the physical and social distancing, that kind of thing has to be observed if COVID continues and continues in the way that it has been over the past few weeks. So that depends on what it does, and I don't know, but it's going to be difficult for us to have a sitting before September because you don't want to be bringing back these children back to school in September and then you're having the sitting in the same month. So you would have to have some sort of window between when they return and when the sitting is actually done.
Yeah.
And that would be taking you somewhere down October, maybe. If you have passed October, then I don't believe that you can have a sitting again. So there are options on the table. The situation is fluid, and we just have to wait and see what happens there. But I made some recommendations before, and it's just for us to look at them and the relevant authorities to look at them and determine whether or not any one of them is feasible.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for always accommodating us and our questions. And look, I mean, it's the children. I think we all are in agreement that when we argue, it's for the betterment of education.
Yes. I just want to say, though, Delia, may I?
Yes.
For 2 seconds, that I think we are very disappointed that the government has not heeded the call of the independent schools to give them some sort of a grant or a relief so that they can get to pay their teachers, because they are struggling due to the fact that the Many parents have been asked to pay half fee, and some are not paying any at all because of the struggles they are undergoing at this time. And we would really like to call on the government to think again, because at this time, if they don't assist those independent schools on which we really depend heavily in this country, they are going to buckle, and it's going to be more pressure on the government. So it's like penny wise, pound foolish if they don't help them out.
All right. Thank you very much, Sir Speed.
Yeah, Owen Speed, president of the Jamaica Teachers Association.
All roads lead to Florida. Our diaspora check-in is next. So don't go away. Smile Jamaica is going to be right back.